servants of Allah. It was authenticated by Imam Muslim in his Sahih from the hadith of Abi Ayyub al-Ansari, may Allah be pleased with him, that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, whoever fasts Ramadan and follows it with 6 days of Shawwal, it will be as if he fasted the entire year. This hadith, servants of Allah, has been indeed used by most of the scholars as evidence of the desirability of fasting 6 days of the month of Shawwal, and that it is one of the sunan of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and there is no difference between fasting them consecutively, day after day, or spreading them out throughout the month of Sha'ban. Fasting Ramadan and 6 days of the month of Shawwal is as if fasting the entire year, because a good deed is multiplied by 10 or rewarded tenfold. And this was explained by the hadith of Thawban, may Allah be pleased with him, authenticated by Imam Ahmad, that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, whoever fasts Ramadan and 6 days after Eid, meaning 6 days of Shawwal, it is as if he completed the year. Whoever does a good deed will have 10 times the reward. For fasting Ramadan is equivalent to 10 months, 1 month multiplied by 10. And fasting 6 days is equivalent to 60 days. That completes the year. There are numerous benefits to continuing fasting after the month of Ramadan, as mentioned by Al-Hafidh ibn Rajab, may Allah have mercy upon him, in his book Lata'if al-Ma'arif. Among these benefits is that if a person fasts 6 days of Shawwal after Ramadan, he will thereby complete the reward of fasting for an entire year, as mentioned earlier of the hadith of Abi Ayyub al-Ansari, may Allah be pleased with him. Among these benefits is that fasting in Shawwal and in the month of Sha'ban, which is before Ramadan, is like the sunan prayers for the obligatory prayers, the rawatib before or after the obligatory prayers, making up for any shortcomings and completing any deficiency the one does in his salah. As the hadith states, voluntarily prayers completes the obligatory prayers, and the voluntarily acts complete the obligatory acts on the day of resurrection. And most people will experience shortcomings in their fasting. Therefore, fasting before the month of Ramadan and after the month of Ramadan will make up for these shortcomings and correct him. Among the benefits of resuming fasting after Ramadan, hence fasting the 6 days of Shawwal, for example, is that resuming fasting after Ramadan is a sign that the fast of Ramadan has been accepted. When Allah the Almighty accepts a servant's good deed, He guides him to do another righteous deed thereafter. As some of the early predecessors, the righteous predecessors stated, the reward for a good deed is that the good deed comes out, another good deed comes after it. The reward of hasana is that you complete a hasana after it. So if you do a good deed and then follow it with another, that is a sign that the first good deed has been accepted. Likewise, if someone does a good deed and then follows it with an evil deed, that is a sign that the good deed has been rejected and not accepted. One of the benefits of resuming fasting after Ramadan is that if a person is granted the ability to fast Ramadan out of faith and in hope of reward from Allah, he will attain the great blessings of forgiveness for past sins. As the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever fasts Ramadan out of faith and in the hope of reward, his previous sins will be forgiven. This is a great blessing for Allah the Almighty to grant a person the ability to fast this month out of iman, faith, and in hope of reward from Allah, thus attaining this great reward. If he resumes fasting after Ramadan, Allah the Exalted, after Allah has granted him the ability to fast Ramadan, this is showing gratitude for Allah's blessings. And for that Allah the Exalted says, and that you may complete the number, meaning of days that you have to fast, and glorify Allah for having guided you, and perhaps you will be grateful.